Have you ever wondered what the future of data analysis or data science was going to look like? And you're probably afraid or curious. This video, I'm going to be talking to you about like the future of data analysis from my own perspective. First of all, welcome to my cyberspace and let's get right into it. And one of the things I want to say that I know it could be scary, and a lot of people have uncertainty as to what the future of the field is going to look like. I would say that the field AI is being fed by data. So people that are actually building this AI model are data scientists, are people that you data engineers or software engineers also. Like, what is the source of that data? Is what is the source of AI itself that is making it better? It's the data. So somebody made a term, I think it was Microsoft, which I could be wrong. They mentioned the fact that AI is just a good memorizer and not a very smart thinker that is actually intelligent. But one thing is that you've noticed over the years is if you can go back in time, when it comes to innovation, people initially are always resistant to innovation, and they are always either people who are in the extremes of, oh, this is going to like really be huge, or some people are like, oh, this is never going to come in. There was a time whereby when calculator came in and there were some mathematicians that were really against it and were like, no, we have to use our minds to calculate and get the result we wanted. But there were some persons who embraced it, used calculator. What that did was it allowed the teachers to be able to give the student more complex problems. So in giving the student more complex problems, it made the student more smarter. One thing you would also find out is that I think one thing I need to mention is that as humans, we are naturally adaptive, and we no matter what the environment is, we would always find ways to get better and make things work. These are one of the things you don't want to do in your approach to AI. I don't think you want to approach it from a point of panicking, from a point of you're like, oh, this is going to be a really huge thing, going to take off your jobs or all of that. You have to approach it from a point of, this is something that is coming and how can I position myself? One of the things you need to do if you start to look at jobs is, and this is not just even AI, a lot of times when they request for a data analyst like 5 years ago, they're probably requesting for somebody that can use Excel. But right now, increasingly you will see almost a company looking for like somebody that could do a full stack job. That is like, you could do extract, transform, load the data, do the cleaning, use SSIS, use Power BI, use visualization. But the beauty about this is that AI is first of all making coding, debugging easier, and also it's also making learning easier. So that's something I think we should a little bit be excited about like the flip side of it. And one thing we've seen with the pattern is that with the thinking, there's still a little bit of faults. But if I were you, and one of the things you can do is you can position yourself in certain industries that in a way they necessarily don't always embrace change as fast as other industry. If you go to like maybe some sectors like technology compared to like healthcare, so there's always there are still some sectors whereby they still use Excel for like their basic everyday data analysis. So one thing you could do is to position yourself in some sectors like that. A bunch of them, like insurance, that doesn't necessarily embrace the dramatic change that we experience right now, while you are still trying to upskill yourself. But the mindset of this is not going to come, the change, like we're not going to see like a drastic change, might be a lie. But what do we think from my projection with agentic AI, and what do you think the future is going to look like? I think the future is going to look more of where we'll be able to have opportunities to solve more complex problems. Imagine some of the projects that you could do now that either you don't have the time to do or you don't have the technical expertise. You would see how that just by thinking, you would be able to collaborate with an assistant. However, the implication for that is that there might be new roles, or we might find new tools that would have to use. And the also side implication is that we might not have like more openings for like entry-level roles. But what some companies would do to mitigate that, and that is where like we might have like third-party organization that would focus on training to make sure you grow. And as you are growing as a data expert, it's best to like learn how to do more projects rather than just gaining certifications and all of that. So it's more about what can you do, what problem can you solve. What you need to do is whatever skill sets that you have right now, the question is, what can I learn more? As you're learning more skills, keep learning more things. I don't think you want to go from 0 to 100. You want to go at like a reasonable good space, and as you keep growing, you also have an idea about what is happening up on the news. One way to keep yourself abreast of what's happening is to be on LinkedIn, read Medium posts, and just listen to what various experts like myself are talking about, and I'm sure you'll be fine. And last thing I will mention is that the change that people are really emphasizing is not going to happen as fast as people are really saying it's going to be. So you still have a little bit of time, so keep growing, keep learning, and keep upskilling. And I hope this video was a value for time. If it was, well, to like, subscribe, follow, and share. Ciao.